Welcome to Bookkast, the place to be if you want all the juicy insights from best-selling books, but you only have, minutes to spare. I'm Paul.
And I'm Sarah. Hey, everyone.
And today's deep dive, well, we're taking a look at the start of Emily Henry's funny story.
Yeah.
So, you shared the book and some of your initial thoughts. And we're on a mission here to figure out, what makes this a bestseller right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go.
So, Sarah, when we jump into this opening of Funny Story, what's that first thing that really grabs your attention?
I mean, you're just right there in it with Daphne, and her world is imploding.
Yeah.
Her fiancé, Peter, breaks up with her. Okay, fine, but
Ugh.
he's already moved on.
Oh, no.
With his childhood best friend, Petra.
Oof. Talk about a double whammy.
It's brutal, right?
Yeah, it's the worst of the worst.
It's like getting kicked when you're already down.
Yeah, you think about Daphne, she's expecting this nice little welcome home,
Yeah.
They've got that waning bay house. Peter's been on this getaway.
Yeah.
And instead of open arms, she gets apartment listings.
Talk about a mood killer.
It's so jarring,
Totally.
It makes you wonder, was anything in that relationship real?
It really makes you question their whole foundation.
Absolutely.
And poor Daphne, she's just left reeling.
Yeah.
Like her entire life plan just evaporated.
Poof, gone.
And I think that's why this book is such a hit,
I bet.
It taps into that fear we all have. What if everything changes in an instant?
Oh, yeah, everyone's been there in some way.
Exactly. It's like that universal fear of the rug being pulled out from under you.
So true. So where does Daphne even begin to pick up the pieces after all this? Where does she land?
Well, she ends up in this tiny little apartment.
Okay.
And almost, because they're both drowning in heartbreak. She connects with her neighbor, Miles Nowak.
Miles enters the scene.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Get this.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Miles is also freshly heartbroken.
No.
Because guess what? Petra, the new girlfriend, was his ex.
Oh my gosh, it's all connected.
Talk about a tangled web, right?
It's a small world, and not in a good way.
Definitely not in a good way.
So we've got these two casualties of the same, romantic explosion.
Yeah.
What are your first impressions of Miles when we meet him?
He's dealing with it in a classic heartbroken guy way.
Okay, how so?
Blasting that music.
Yeah.
Jamie O'Neill specifically for those keeping track. And there's coconut rum involved.
Oh, the coconut rum.
Which, classic breakup fuel.
It screams trying to drown his sorrows.
It really does.
It's relatable,
Oh, yeah.
It's that raw, messy side of heartbreak.
Definitely.
Maybe less composed than Daphne's initial shock, but still real.
Absolutely. So this shared misery, it kind of throws them together, right?
It does. It's this instant bond born out of awkwardness and shared pain.
It's like misery loves company.
Exactly. And there's this one scene that just kills me.
Okay.
Miles offers Daphne weed and a rom-com.
Classic combo.
Right. It's like his way of saying, hey, we're in this together.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Peter's over there with his apartment listings.
So unhelpful.
Talk about rubbing salt in the wound.
It really shows you the difference between these two guys.
Yeah.
Miles, even if he's a little awkward, at least he's got some emotional awareness.
He's trying,
Right.
It's that contrast that really sets things up.
And it kind of goes to show you never know where you'll find support.
Sometimes it's in the most unexpected places.
Exactly. So on top of this whole mess, Daphne starts thinking about, relationships in general.
Yeah. She has this moment of reflection about how temporary everything feels.
Like nothing is forever.
Exactly. And it resonated with some of the stuff you were saying earlier, too.
Right. Sometimes relationships are just chapters in our lives.
Yeah, they come and go.
And that's okay.
Part of the journey.
Definitely so. Beyond all this heartbreak and, emotional turmoil, we start to learn more about who Daphne and Miles are,
Right, we get a peek into their lives.
What do they do all day?
Well, Daphne works as a children's librarian.
Oh, that's sweet.
Right, you immediately picture her, surrounded by books and kids.
Yeah, someone nurturing and organized.
Exactly. Maybe a little whimsical.
I like it.
And we see her dealing with these quirky library patrons.
Oh, I bet those are interesting.
And then there's Ashley, her colleague, who is a bit much, let's say.
Sounds like a character.
Oh, she is.
And Miles, what about him?
Well, he throws us a curveball.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
He works at a local winery, Cherry Hill.
A winery? That's not what I was expecting.
I know, right? It's a total surprise.
Yeah, especially after Peter's vague descriptions.
Yeah, Peter painted a very different picture.
So we've got a librarian and a winery worker.
It's an unexpected pairing.
It really is.
And their connection takes a wild turn.
Okay, tell me more.
They both have a really rough night.
Yeah, those happen.
And they end up at this bar called Meat Locker.
Meat Locker.
Meat Locker, all caps.
Amazing name.
I know, right?
So they're at this bar.
They're doing shots with this biker named Gil.
Okay, things are escalating.
And then out of nowhere, Miles just announces that Daphne is the love of his life.
Oh, wow.
Who ran off with her fiancé.
That's a lie.
A complete fabrication.
But why?
It's a drunken grand gesture.
I guess so.
Totally over the top and ridiculous.
I can only imagine.
But here's the thing. It leads to this crazy agreement.
What did they agree to?
They're going to RSVP, yes, to Peter and Petra's wedding.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, yes, they did.
That's a bold move.
It's pure rom-com gold.
It really is like the ultimate act of revenge.
Or maybe just a drunken mistake.
Probably a bit of both.
Daphne immediately starts having second thoughts.
Of course.
The alcohol wears off and reality sets in.
It always does.
But that RSVP is out there in the world.
And there's no taking it back.
The damage is done.
And so what happens next?
Well, Peter being Peter, he calls Daphne after getting the RSVP.
Of course he does.
And Daphne, in a moment of pure panic, fueled by, leftover alcohol and Miles's crazy declaration, she tells Peter that she and Miles are dating.
Oh my gosh, she didn't.
She did. It's the classic fake dating scenario.
It's a recipe for disaster.
And a whole lot of laughs.
I can't wait.
That's why we love rom-coms, right?
Yeah. Why do you think that fake dating trope is so popular?
I think it forces characters into this close proximity.
Right.
They have to act like they're in love.
Even if they're not.
And all that pretending can lead to some real feelings.
The lines get blurred.
Exactly. It's a great way to explore those what-ifs.
Yeah, and how people change when they're trying to be someone else.
So what else is going on in this early stage of their, relationship?
Right, it's all very much in quotes.
Social media gets involved.
Oh boy, here we go.
Daphne posts this kind of suggestive picture with Miles.
I bet Peter loved that.
I'm sure it didn't go unnoticed.
So why do you think she did it?
Maybe to provoke Peter?
Seems likely.
Or maybe to convince herself?
Or the world.
It's that whole performative aspect of social media, right?
We're always putting on a show.
Especially after a breakup.
It's like a public declaration of, I'm fine.
Even if you're totally not fine.
And on top of all this, we get a glimpse into Daphne's family.
Yeah, her mom seems really close. But her dad's more distant.
Okay.
And those relationships clearly shape who Daphne is.
Right. It's all part of her backstory.
And how she reacts to all this craziness.
It's fascinating how all these pieces come together.
So just to recap.
Hit me with it.
In the first few chapters of Funny Story, we've got double breakups.
Ouch.
Accidental roommates finding solace in each other.
A match made in heartbreak.
A revenge pact to crash a wedding.
Talk about drama.
The whole fake dating charades.
And those complicated family dynamics.
It's a lot.
It really is, and it's all wrapped up in this funny and heartfelt package.
And Emily Henry really knows how to draw you in.
And that, my friends, is our quick dive into the beginning of Emily Henry's funny story, right here on Bookkast, Bestsellers in Minutes.
We've seen Daphne and Miles thrown together by this whole Peter and Petra situation.
Leading to some unpredictable and hilarious moments.
From the drunken wedding pact to the fake dating announcement.
It's no wonder this book is a hit.
It taps into those universal themes of heartbreak and finding connection in unexpected places.
And figuring out life after a major shakeup.
We hope this deep dive gave you a taste of what makes Funny Story so engaging.
If you're looking for witty banter, relatable characters, and those moments that make you go, aha!
Funny Story might just be your next read.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive on Bookkast, Bestsellers in Minutes.
We'll be back next time with another popular title broken down in our signature concise style.
Until then, happy reading.
And maybe take a minute to think about those unexpected connections in your own life.
You never know where you'll find support and maybe even a little romance.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.